Howdy race fans, welcome to my little show about racing I like to call In the Pits with me, Stock Car Scott. And as always, In the Pits is brought to you when I feel like doing it by Monte Carlo Express Delivery. Monte Carlo Express Delivery has been servicing the courier needs of the Puget Sound area for well over a decade now. So please like us on Facebook. Okay, back to Friday. Friday was, again, busy enough for me to miss everything that was on TV, anything that was on there. Of course, I recorded what I could on Fox Sports 1 from Michigan International Speedway. Couple of practices that they allowed me to watch. But most of the good stuff was on that dang Phantom Sports 2 channel that just isn't available to me. So I was denied the chance to see not only Cup qualifying, where Casey Kane put it on the pole there, put his number 5 Great Clip Chevy on the pole. I also was denied the chance to see the first Super Speedway ARCA win by the son of Matt Kenseth, Ross Kenseth, running in a number 52 Kenny Schrader Federated Auto Parts Camry that he runs the full ARCA series in, but lets different drivers, and even Kenny drives himself sometimes. But yeah, Matt Kenseth's son, Ross, came in first. And in second place was 8-time veteran champion there, Frank Kimmel. He's on a part-time schedule, though, this year. And the first of the full-time ARCA drivers was in third place, Austin Wayne Self. Austin is from Austin, Texas. With an 8th place finish, Grant Enfinger was able to hang on to his lead there in the ARCA driver points after 9 of their 20 races. Also on Friday, like I said, Enumclaw's Casey Kane put his number 5 Great Clips Hendricks Chevrolet SS on the pole at MIS. Happy Harvick was second. Fast, he was, second fast in the last round, but he was first fastest in both the first and second, he was second fastest in the third round, but he was first fastest in the second and first round. But the first round only gets you to the second round. The second round is what gets you to the third round, where Casey Kane was fastest. Which means Junior didn't make it to the last round of qualifying, because I think he was like 14th when they lined up on Sunday. But along with Ross Kenseth's ARCA win there on the Michigan Super Speedway, I missed it. So while watching the tape that I made, I was able to see that Kurt Busch didn't have a really good practice. He scraped up against the wall and had to go to a backup car, which he later qualified that number 41 Haas Automation Chevrolet in 24th spot on the grid for Sunday's race. Saturday, I got up for some more Cup practice to watch there, where Dale Jr. showed that he had a fairly strong car with that AMP Chevrolet SS. Even though the fan-voted paint scheme on that car was pretty hideous looking. I think it was some tangerine, mango something, passion fruit something that was just really not a good color for a junior. But anyway, after the Sprint Cup practice was the Xfinity Great Clips 250. Great Clips, where Stock Car Scott goes to get his hair cut, even though you never can see what's under my hat there. But Great Clips 250 there at Michigan Speedway. There were more than a few of the Cup regulars in the field, with Joker Logano on the pole in that Penske number 22 Discount Tires Ford Mustang, and Happy Harvick was in Dale Jr.'s number 88 Morton Buildings Camaro. I do believe Morton Buildings was the sponsor on there. Kyle Larson was there in number 42 Target car for Chip Ganassi, and making his return to the Xfinity Series, where at Daytona he broke a leg and a flipper. Yes, the Toad, Kyle Busch, and as he has been known to do, the Toad ruined the race. Yep, after a move for the lead by Harvick very late in the race that nearly wrecked he and the Joker, Chase Elliott was able to push by and take the lead, and it looked like Chase might beat those Cup guys. But the Toad unfortunately caught Chase and used his inexperience against him to win his return to the Xfinity Series there at Michigan. Chase was the highest Xfinity regular with his second place finish to the Toad, but Chris Buescher finished fourth and maintains his points lead over an unchanged top five. And of course, Larry Mack was talking about how this latest Busch win, or excuse me, nationwide win, excuse me, I'll get it right yet, Xfinity win for Kyle Busch was his like umpteenth G and win in the top 3 series of across NASCAR. But you know, us diehards, we only count the Cup wins when you're counting the best. So anyway, and he's got quite a few of those though. So anyway, after the Xfinity race, I got ready to go see racing at Evergreen Speedway by watching a little Fans Choice TV. And the mini stock practice there, both number 41 Scott Burby and the number 24 of Trent Moriarty had strong speeds. And as I left to go to the track, qualifying was in progress, so I didn't get to see Mike Holden lay down the fast time. But anyway, I got out there in time for the street stock heat races. Let me take a quick break here. You know, like to get a sip of dew out of old Sterling here. Anyway, but you know, about the time I got out there, it was about the same time as the Camping World Truck Series race at Gateway in Madison, Illinois was supposed to have started. And even as unadept as I am, I've learned to dial up NASCAR leaderboards on my phone so I could follow along once it got started. But thank you to my wonderful wife and also to Thomas Tea Time and others there on Facebook for all the updates on the rain delay. My wife wasn't up to coming out for the racing there at Evergreen Saturday night, but bless her heart, she made sure I did not miss the end of the truck race because I had not taken a rain delay into account. So she came down to what we call Race Central and made sure that the recording went far enough there. So just one of the many reasons I love that woman. But back to Evergreen. The first street stock heat race was won by the number 25 of Duane Shosbeck over Chad, number 12 there, Chad Fitzpatrick. And I hear that Chad had some special folks in visiting him this weekend, so I hope they enjoyed the racing there. Heat race 2 was won by reigning champion Roger Drake over the number 06 of Steve Potacek. Next up was the Pro 4 Trucks Maine, who had the largest, one of the largest, if not the largest count I think I've ever seen at 10, or was it 11? 10, 11. I'm pretty sure it was 10. J.R. Kelly's truck had a sweet paint scheme that was reminiscent of the Dale Earnhardt 1996 Atlanta Olympics Monte Carlo that I just happen to have right here if you can see it. And it was really, really a nice looking paint scheme to see going around the track there at Evergreen. It was also good to get to see Rick Shaver out there again in his number 43. And even though he got the lead some laps there in the race, he was unable to finish. Pete Brody in the number 4 truck led much of the second half of the race, but was overtaken there on the last lap by a hard-charging number 22, Jason Majors. Next was the Les Schwab Street Stocks main with a car count of 17. And the regular front runners of Drake and Fitzpatrick weren't running quite as well as they usually do. So it was a chance for the number 25 of Duane Shosbeck and the number 22 of Kenny Erickson to battle it out for the win, with Erickson being the ultimate winner, taking the checkers. So next up after that was a really, really good race. The big 50-lap Mini Stock Invitational was run just after the street stocks there. Many of the Pro 4 trucks got in on the fun there. I guess they didn't have much of a different setup or rule that they had to change too much there, including the winner of the Pro 4 trucks, number 22, Jason Majors. So that made it a huge car count of 27. Unfortunately, the first caution was the number 97 of Nat Barber. He was put into the backstretch tire barrier by another car later after the race. He told me that here lately that Evergreen has just not been his luckiest track here lately. So in honor of Nat, I have a new sticker up on the title board. So cause Nat races against child abuse, because there is no excuse. Okay, I also saw a couple of South Sound mini stock drivers running in the Mini Stock Invitational, like Tina McMillan and Devin Matthews and Ken Legault in that number 22 PT Cruiser that he got from Dennis Schaefer. But the ultimate front runners were the Evergreen Foster Press Mini Stock regulars of Scott Burby and Trenton Moriarty, with Moriarty coming out on top once again. Now this was a different race from the Foster Press Mini Stocks, so he did not collect points for this going towards his championship this year, but he's already got 5 wins in that division. So last for the evening was the 75-lap super late model feature. Mike Holden, like I said earlier, set fast time in his number 32 Chevrolet, but was buried in the field with a 7-car invert. That put Scott LaCrosse in his number 99 and Tyler Baker in his number 30 on the front row. I felt badly for Brandon Schreiber, who got in an early caution there that tore off his spoiler off the back of his car there. Later, he told me that it made the car handle like a beast. But he stuck it out and earned himself an 8th place finish overall there for the evening, thanks to his crew there in the infield with lots of duct tape. Number 3, Luke Selican, had a fast car, and he and Mike Holden raced their way up to the front. Luke had to use a little muscle on Scott LaCrosse there in turn 3 to take the lead 10 laps in, and from there he didn't look back. Or maybe that's all he did was look back in his rearview mirror, because the field was behind him. Starting with Mike Holden, he chased Luke for the rest of the race, waiting for the chance to capitalize on a mistake that the young Oregonian never made. So after 75 laps of fun, exciting racing, Luke Selican won his first victory there at Evergreen. Reigning points champion Mike Holden ran second, adding to his points in the quest for back-to-back championships. Sean Son in his number 1 car was third, and the number 20 of Andy Soul was close behind in fourth. The next super late model racing at Evergreen is the big summer showdown weekend at the end of this month. And you know, everybody will be bringing out their new cars and their best stuff for that one. So that'll be big show for this area. After knocking around in the pits for a few minutes after the races, I headed home. But it was a nice evening of racing, and it was nice to see race friends, race fans like Jeff, Jordan, Molly, Brandon, Mike, Andy, Frank, Jana, Rod, Kelly, Scott, Nat, Tony, Kenny, and Junior. Yeah, Junior is finally good to get to see you there face to face. And bunches of other race fans that I know I'm forgetting somebody. So anyway, so I got home in time to see that thanks to that wonderful wife of mine, that I had the entire truck race recorded. Although I didn't watch it until Sunday night, it chronologically fits in here. So rain washed out qualifying and pushed the race time back a few hours for the trucks there. They lined up on practice speeds, and that put phenom Eric Jones on the pole with just regular young driver Cole Custer on the outside front row in a Dale Junior Motorsports Haas Automation Silverado. Points leader Matt Crafton started his Menards Toyota in third. Local favorite Tyler Tanner, who will be back in town for the summer showdown, started 21st in his MB Motorsports Silverado. He finished in 16th, a lap down, but still this is very respectable, folks, for a journeyman driver. He finishes the race in the top half of the field in an uncrashed truck. I say mission accomplished. Way to go, Tyler. Somebody right now is taking notice of Tyler Tanner and the MB Motorsports number 63 Silverado, and they shouldn't be working on a race-to-race budget for too much longer. Anyway, it was a good race despite the rain. Matt Crafton and Eric Jones had late race problems that relegated them to really crappy finishes, but the ultimate winner, Cole Custer, ran up front all night, so he became the he came by his first race win of the season honestly. It didn't just fall into his laps, folks. Matt Crafton still leads the points despite the 21st place finish. The next race is at Rusty Wallace's Short Track Palace in Newton, Iowa, Friday, June the 19th, about 5:30 p.m. out here on the left coast. Oh, great time. Okay, Sunday was Quicken Loans 400 in the Irish Hills of Brooklyn, Michigan. I guess they are the Irish Hills because they are so green. And again, I'm guessing they are green because it rains, because that's what it did Sunday in the Irish Hills of Brooklyn, Michigan. So, NASCAR still got in a race, well, most of a race. The race was a stop-and-go affair for the first 50 laps or so. Light rain made it really hard to get started, but the air titans that they have would clear off that light rain very quickly, and they would try to get back to it, and another light rain would come. Enum Claus, Casey Kane, like I said, was on the pole with Happy Harvick on the outside, but by the time more than a handful of laps at a time had clicked by, Junior was able to work his way up from that 14th starting position to make the third of the rain delay restarts around lap 50 he restarted in second place. And by the time the last red flag came, Dale Jr. was able to maintain that second place to Kurt Busch, who won a wet one in a backup car. Win one soon, Larson missed stealing a wet one by 3 laps, but the gas gamble did not pay off for Kyle. Another Kyle that didn't have a payoff was Kyle Busch in that crispy crunchy M&M's car that he crispy crunched against the wall there. Almost took out his brother there during part of the race, and I do believe the Toad ended up finishing 43rd. So his brother Kurt took away a chance for someone else to join the chase with a second win of the season. And the points as of now, who cares? I mean, it's who has wins. And Junior's got a win, and Kurt's got 2, and Happy's got 2, and Johnson's got 4. So, you know, it's wins now, folks. So this weekend, Sprint Cup is off. They don't have a race this weekend, and I heard that Junior was going to Germany during his summer vacation here, or spring vacation, late spring vacation, I guess it is. The Xfinity guys are going to be the top dogs this weekend at Chicagoland. Hopefully there won't be any Cup drivers there to mess things up. It is also one of the $100,000 bonus races that 4 of the nationwide regular guys are running for. I think Chris Buescher's one, and Reagan Smith, and Chase Elliott, and Ty Dillon, I think, but don't quote me on that one. Just run the tape back over and over again and show you're wrong. Anyway, also the ARCA series will be at Chicagoland, but I won't see it because it's going to be on that Phantom Sports 2 business, where the Xfinity race will be on Fox Sports 1. They couldn't just let them continue on there. No, they got to put it on that Fox Phantom Sports thing. That's really become more of an irritation these days than a joke, as you might have been able to tell. At least I can count on being able to see the Formula One Grand Prix of Austria this weekend on NBC Sportsnet. I will have to get up early. Each day to watch all of the things that when they do their practice and qualifying. Sunday, it starts about 4:30 here in the AM here on the left coast for me to be able to see Hamilton, Vettel, and what's his name jockey for positions there on the podium. But you can just about bet that that will be the podium. Hopefully, Hamilton, Vettel, and what's his name? Or it wouldn't mind if what's his name wrecked. But anyway, nice clean race. It should be fun. But that will be after a late night of watching racing down at South Sound Speedway. My wife and I plan to head down that way to see if anyone can dislodge Kelly Mann's chokehold on the top spot. That is, if we can get through the golf traffic. Evergreen's having another family night with the Foreign Sports Car Racing Association, 2 types of figure 8s, Hornets, and vintage modifieds, where South Sound Speedway is having twin super late model 50-lap mains, mini stocks, hobby stocks, and Stinger 8s. That's a little more of my need for speed. So that is where I will be this weekend, as I said, if we can get down there through the golf and soccer traffic on Saturday. I haven't been to South Sound Speedway as much as I'd like to this season. I've been busy. You know, also, I will get to the video posted on my YouTube channel as I get time to do it. I know some race fans are waiting to see some late model and some mini stock stuff, so I'll get to it when I can. I still got some editing to do on it before I can get it posted. A couple of races from the last few weeks, but I'll get to it as I can. I'll get to it, I hope. Anyway, while writing this week's script, I got a chance to see the abbreviated replay of the IRL race on the streets of Toronto, Canada last Sunday on NBCSN. It was won by Nashville, Tennessee's Joseph Newgarden with his teammate Luca Filippi from Italy in second. And I think Helio Dancing with the Stars Castroneves was in third. The points for IRL, again, who cares? Probably Juan Pablo Montoya, I think I think that's who is leading the points. And their next race, Fontana, California, I do believe is where it's going. Their next race is going to be. But I want some feedback here, folks, on this next thing. I have been considering dropping the coverage of IRL and F1 to try to make the show a little shorter. Maybe you race fans could tell me what you want. You know, if you want me to leave it in, I will. But after all, I am Stock Car Scott, not Open Wheel Owen, and this isn't on the streets. It is in the pits. So, you know, just let me know. And until then, I hope you join me next week. I'll be here in the pits because I'm Stock Car Scott. And I thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much again for watching, folks. See you next week.